All right, the Detroit Lions finally get some good news. We sign a guy that is like, oh, okay, he's available out there. That's great. Plus, David Montgomery. Like, wait a second on David Montgomery. So before we get into that, let me know in the comments why you think all these injuries are happening. Is it just straight up coincidence and it's just like this is just what happens? Bad luck? Is it training staff? Is it because we play so hard? I can't believe I'm actually saying that because it's like, yeah, play hard, play hard, crash around, get crazy. But it's like we just play so physical. I wonder if that's it too. So let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on why all these injuries are happening. Because, I mean, again, you look at it, we're far and away. We're at 22 guys that are out. And you look at kind of the majority of the league is right in here. And, even the teams that have a lot of injuries are just not doing well. They're bad teams. The guys aren't coming back. So it's like we are outliers for sure at 22 people and only have 2 losses. So let me know in the comments. Okay. First thing, I'll get to who we signed, but I think the big news and like the good news that's just like, all right, you know what? I'm not getting my hopes up, but David Montgomery is trying to avoid surgery so that he can rehab this thing and get back for the playoffs, which is 3-4 weeks. So Detroit Lions running back spent the last few days consulting with medical experts and now optimistic that he could avoid season-ending surgery. He hopes he can rehab and then come back. It's one of those injuries that's unique because you need to know that it's stable. Is it fixed? Will it scar? So Dan Campbell is kind of talking. I was like, hey, man, I'm good. I can do this. So it's a combination certainly of doctors, but him as well, where he thinks he can go, protect himself, play at a high level. So we're in a holding pattern to see what happens there. So that's just, again, who knows? And we're in good shape. And we got Jahmyr Gibbs, who is just incredible. So it's like, oh, that's nice to just kind of have an outstanding running back there. But Craig Reynolds, Vaki, we'd love to see a little bit. So kind of keep an eye on that. The other really good news is that the Lions signed Anthony Pittman from the Jags practice squad to our active roster. And why this is so good is because he was with us and on our team for 5 years. And a great special teamer, but linebacker too, and played. He played both regimes. He played with the Patricia era, and he also played with Dan Campbell. Dave Phipp talked about him today about how he can just come right in. This is huge because we're late into the season. There's been a ton of injuries, so you've got not only our team, but other teams poaching kind of the best available players off of practice squads. And so to find a guy that knows our team, knows our culture and all that, and has actually played in quite a few games. I know he's older, but it's like, who cares? We need you for 3 games, man. Right? And so that's good news. More good news that the Lions get is that the injury report is pretty interesting here. David Montgomery is on the injury report for no practice. Why this is interesting is because his season is not over. If you're on IR, we showed you there, you got 20-some guys, so they don't list them all. They only list the guys that are actively like available or could be available. So David Montgomery, knee. Graham Glasgow, Dan Campbell seemed optimistic about him, said he's a little sore, should be okay. I expect him to go. Frank Ragnow is rest, but he had a back thing show up. So it's like, okay, I just kind of keep an eye on that. Again, optimistic on both of those guys going. And that's kind of the unsung thing of all these injuries. Like, knock on wood, our offensive line has been very healthy this year. If we got them, it's like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And that's kind of been how it feels. Limited practice. Jalen Reeves-Maybin's injury clock has started. So I was like, okay. That would be a nice addition for special teams and linebacker. Brian Branch back to practice. All right, another one. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Taylor Decker, Zeitler, Smith, DJ Reader. All these veterans are back and ready to go. So they just had a rest day this week, but they're not injured or anything. And then Ife Melifonwu, his injury clock has begun. Anybody right now would be so beneficial to get back. Iffy Melanfon was a perfect example. Then you can get flexibility with Branch. He could go to linebacker. He could go to corner. He could go to the slot. It's just another body, starting level body that we really need. Like, so huge. Okay. So if you're I got two more things for you. Basically, you look at this. You look at the depth chart. Again, defensively is where we're really focused, and you see, okay, honestly, I don't know what to think. And here's what I mean by that. You see on the right-hand side all the guys on IR out for the season, starter, second string. Then you look at and that's not good. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all these names. But at the same time, you look at what's left, and it's like, okay, the cupboard is not completely bare. Zadarius Smith and Muhammad can be defensive ends along with Pascal. Onwuzurike and Reeder, defensive tackles. I don't know. I don't hate it. I mean, it could be worse. I get it. It's not ideal. But then linebacker, Jack Campbell, need you. Do not get hurt. David Long Jr., Quan Alexander, Ezekiel Turner. The thing about these guys, especially like Ezekiel Turner, he was a starting level guy with the Cardinals, comes over to us, somehow finds his way to us, and he has been able to now play for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. The more he plays, the better. So these guys have actually started to get a lot of playing time. They're on practice squads or whatever. Part of me is like, what if they kind of just keep figuring this out? Amik Robertson, Emmanuel Mosley. What if we saw him? That'd be awesome. I don't know why he's not playing. No updates on that. So if you look at this team, injuries aside, just forget. I think that's what we have to do. Like, forget those injuries happen. You just look at the current team as it is, especially the defense. That's the big focus. It's like, gosh, defense, could you just be not terrible? And now the problem is, last game we saw a really bad defense because Josh Allen made them look slow, small, weak, soft. But I really think that was just Josh Allen being like completely different. The guy made like 4 throws that were just like, no one in the world can do that. Scrambled around, looking, kept his head up, just threw a couple like 50-yard plays. So it's like, oh, okay. So let's play a normal quarterback like we are this week, and let's go. Let's see what we got. So I think we're okay. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, David Montgomery looking good, or looking like he could possibly come back. Anthony Pittman's back. Depth, or the injury report this week is like, it's not bad. So I don't know what to think other than let's go. Let's play this thing out and see what happens. Let's look at the schedule one more time. And the thing about the schedule is you can kind of see it. It's at Chicago, at San Francisco, Monday night. So here's the thing that I really love is the Lions get an extra day of rest to get out to San Francisco. Chicago and San Fran are not. You see that San Francisco logo, and it's like, oh, geez, got to go out there. They're not what they've been for the last 8 years. So let's go. Let's beat Chicago. I think the team comes out super fired up. Dan Campbell got us all fired up the entire city. Let's go. Beat San Fran, come home Minnesota, and see what happens. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.